Labadiena. Hello. I'm Lina Šarūnaitė from the Lithuanian Research Center for Agriculture and Forestry from the Institute of Agriculture, and I work in the Department of Plant Nutrition and Agroecology. At this time, I would like to present data of the project with the title Crop Rotation Diversification and Agroecology Optimization for the Restoration of Biodiversity and Agroecosystem Functions. This project finished in the last autumn of 2020. Demonstration trials were conducted in 7 municipalities: Alytus, Kaunas, Klaipėda, Marijampolė, Panevėžys, Tauragė, and Telšiai. Therefore, in this project participate quite a big group of researchers from different branches of the center. Here you can see main objectives of the project. One of them is to update farmers' attitudes towards agroecosystems, to exploit the integration of plant diversity in the background of appropriate technological links, which improve complex interactions and synergies and optimize ecosystem functions and services. Also, as I mentioned in the beginning, the demonstration trials were conducted in 7 different municipalities of Lithuania with the aim to introduce for farmers factors affecting biodiversity change, encourage the use of crop protection technologies that supports the diversity of soil and phytoцenosis species. When a farmer chooses a productive biota, for example, plant, tree, animal species and varieties, all the preconditions for the diversity and the complexity of the agroecosystems are created. This means that the biota of the resources increases. This contributes to increasing productivity through pollinators of plants, biotic regulation of harmful organisms, accumulation of nutrients in soil, and soil productivity improvement. You can see the map with the places of experiments. All 8 experiments were established in the field of farms. The first experiment was carried out in northern Lithuania with the title The Effect of Minimal Soil Tillage Technologies for Winter Cereals After Late Harvest Bean Crops. The aim is to demonstrate the possibilities of no-tillage and direct sowing technologies for winter cereals after pre-crops of beans, comparing them with the traditional tillage system in the region of northern Lithuania farms. In this region, plant diversity is extremely low in crop rotation. Here it is important to note the use of mineral nitrogen fertilizers for high productivity of winter cereals. The possibilities of reducing nitrogen migration in the soil as well. In arable farms, is lack of good pre-crops for winter cereals. The development of crop rotation of legumes helps to solve this problem. Legumes have high efficiency of nitrogen fixation and photosynthesis, and ecologically, biological fixed nitrogen is safer and it can replace industrial mineral nitrogen. However, due to the late harvesting time of beans, it is always difficult to prepare soil for winter cereal sowing. And therefore, the demonstrations trials are carried out on farms in medium heavy loam soil in Pasvalys district and in light loam soil in Kupiškis district. Also here you can find treatment. The first one, deep plowing system, the second, no tillage system, and the third is direct sowing technologies. Here you can see winter wheat seedlings data in medium heavy loam soil in 20 and 18. The autumn and sowing season was very dry. The results showed that after bean was harvested and winter wheat sown by no-tillage and direct sowing technologies, cereal germinated faster and more evenly, developed better until winter time compared to traditional deep plowing system. When winter wheat was grown in no-tillage and direct sowing technologies was used, the post-emergence crop densities were 70 and 22% higher, respectively, compared to deep plowing system. In Kupiškis district, in a light loam soil, when the moisture during the soil cultivation and winter cereal sowing time was sufficient to ensure soil physical conditions and allow to form an optimal seedbed for winter wheat, no one of the applied tillage technologies shows significant differences. In this slide you can see winter wheat yield and quality parameters. In a light loam soil using both traditional or no-tillage and also direct sowing technologies, winter wheat germinated quickly and well, developed properly and gave a grain yield of 8.6 and 8.7 tons per hectare. In the heavier soils, the development of winter seedling was about 50% better, and the development of plants according to the crop mass is 1.8 and 2.2 times higher than the vegetation is renewed in spring, and the grain yield is up to 19% higher compared to traditional tillage system. Recommendation from the first experiment. The first one, it is recommended to use no-till or direct sowing of winter wheat after beans as late pre-crops in medium and heavy soil, loam soil. The second recommendation is for lighter soils, and it is recommended to use both traditional or no-tillage and direct sowing technologies if the rainfall amount is sufficient during the soil preparation for winter cereal sowing time and germination period. The second experiment of the project, with the title "The Influence of Catch Crop on Agrocenosis," was carried out in southwestern Lithuania, and most farms practices intensive tillage technologies in this region. Therefore, problems arise due to shortened crop rotation and reduced crop diversity. So farmers are trying to solve this problem by growing catch crop. Growing catch crops is one of the tools for improving ecosystem service. Such crops increase the porosity of the soil, improves its structure, supplement it with nutrients, reduce nitrogen leaching and weeds spread, and increase the amount of humus. The influence of various catch crop on soil hardness, moisture, the composition of plant organic matter in soils, and plant productivity was studied in Alytus and Marijampolė counties. Here also you can see treatments. The first was without catch crop, the second was white mustard seeds, oil radish, phacelia, lupin, buckwheat, Vicia and oat mixture. Also here you can find the sowing rate. Here is demonstrated the composition of catch crop organic matter. Different plants release the nitrogen when they have accumulated in different ways. It depends on the nitrogen and carbon ratio in the plant. If it is planned to sow winter cereals after the catch crop, then it needs to choose catch crop that quickly releases nitrogen. If sowing takes place only in the spring, then it is better to grow those catch crops whose organic matter decomposed more slowly. And here you can see the composition of organic matter of each catch crop, what we sown in the experiment. So the highest composition of the composition of percent we estimated in phacelia crops. Also, as you can see, high percent was of lupin and oil radish. After the catch crop, winter wheat was sown in one of the experimental places, and oil radish had the largest positive effect on the grain yield. It produced 4.41 tons per hectare grains. Winter wheat grown after white mustard, buckwheat, vetch and oat mixture, phacelia and lupins produce lower grain yields. Also, the mass of 1,000 grains of winter wheat was changed in similarly to the grain yield. The influence of catch crop on wheat abundance in potato crop we studied in the second place, and the highest wheatness was found in the field without catch crops. All catch crops reduced the wheat abundance by 1.8 to 6.6 times, annual wheat by 1.6 to 5.5 times, and perennials by 2.3 until 17 times compared to the field without catch crop. Among the catch crops, the wheatness was most inhibited by phacelia. If you can see from the picture, all wheats was 6.6 times less compared to the plots without catch crops. And if we look on annual wheats, it was by 5.5 times, and perennials wheats by 17 times less. There are recommendations from the second experiment. According to the improvement of soil physical properties, the catch crops were distributed as follows: white mustard seeds, oil radish, phacelia, buckwheat, Vicia and oat mixture, and lupin. According to the increase of wheat suppression ability, the catch crop were distributed as follows: narrow-leaf lupin, Vicia and oat mixture, buckwheat, white mustard seed, oil radish, and phacelia. When sown after catch crop winter wheat cereals, it is recommended to choose plants that quickly release nitrogen: oil radish, phacelia, and lupin. If we plant to sow spring crops, it is recommended to grow plants whose organic matter decomposes more slowly: white mustard, buckwheat, a mixture of veg and oats. And I would like to invite you to check this link where you can find a notebook of recommendations from the project in PDF format. And thank you for your attention today.